Hey everyone and welcome. Today we're diving deep into a situation that's probably left you feeling puzzled when she ignores you. I'm not talking about a little quiet time after a busy day. I'm talking full-on radio silence, the kind that makes you wonder if your relationship was all a dream. Being ignored is rough. It's confusing, frustrating, and makes you want to pull your hair out. You start asking yourself all sorts of questions. Did I mess up? Is she angry with me? Did aliens kidnap her and now she only speaks through charades? Today we're going to unpack this emotional mess and figure out what's really going on. We'll look at why she might be silent and, more importantly, how you can handle it with respect and understanding. Because, let's be honest, this emotional hide-and-seek gets old fast. Before you jump to conclusions and start writing a super dramatic apology letter, let's think about something simple. Sometimes life gets crazy busy. We all have those days, weeks, or even months where everything seems to pile up at once. It's not always easy to keep up with every message or call, no matter how much we want to. She might be buried in work, dealing with family stuff, or just needs some time to chill out. Maybe she's got a big project at work that's taking up all her time, or perhaps there's a family issue that's demanding her attention, or she might just need a break from everything to recharge. Think about it. You know how it feels when your to-do list is a mile long. Every task seems urgent, and there's never enough time in the day to get everything done. It's overwhelming and can make it hard to focus on anything else. You're juggling work, chores, maybe even trying to exercise, all while pretending you understand what everyone's talking about in the group chat. It's exhausting, and sometimes something's got to give. Often it's the social interactions that get pushed to the back burner. So before you assume the worst, try to see things from her side. Consider what might be going on in her life that you don't know about. Everyone has their own struggles and challenges that aren't always visible on the surface. Does she usually spend every second on her phone, or does she like her quiet time? Some people are always connected, while others need to disconnect to recharge. Understanding her habits can give you a better perspective on her current behavior. Has she said she's stressed lately? These are important hints. If she's mentioned feeling overwhelmed or stressed, it's likely that she's not ignoring you on purpose, but is simply trying to cope with her own issues. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore being ignored. It's important to acknowledge your own feelings too. But it's also crucial to give her the benefit of the doubt, at least initially. But give her a chance, at least at first. Sometimes a little patience can go a long way. She might just need a bit more time to get back to you. Instead of blowing up her phone with texts and calls, send a simple message like, "Hey, just checking in. I know you're busy, but I was thinking about you. Let me know when you have a minute to talk." This shows that you care without adding pressure. See the difference? A thoughtful message can make her feel appreciated and understood, rather than overwhelmed. You're acknowledging her busy schedule while showing you care. It's a small gesture that can mean a lot. It's about finding that sweet spot between showing concern and giving her space. Relationships thrive on balance and mutual understanding. Relationships are a two-way street. Both parties need to feel valued and respected. Just like you need time to recharge, so does she. Everyone needs their own space to relax and rejuvenate. And if she's dealing with something stressful, the last thing she needs is to feel pressured. Adding more stress to her plate won't help the situation. Give her the time and space she needs, and trust that if she cares, she'll reach out when she's ready. Patience and understanding can strengthen your bond. And if she doesn't, well, we'll talk about that later. For now, focus on being supportive and understanding. Okay, let's talk about something a little uncomfortable. Maybe you're the reason she's not talking to you. It's a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes we need to face the possibility that our actions or words have caused a rift. Before you freak out, remember everyone makes mistakes. It's part of being human. The important thing is how we handle those mistakes. We all say or do things that accidentally hurt the people we care about. It's not always intentional, but the impact can still be significant. Think about your recent conversations. Did you argue? Was there a moment where things got heated and words were exchanged that you now regret? Did you forget an important date? Birthdays, anniversaries, or even a simple promise to spend time together can mean a lot. Did you accidentally throw away her favorite lucky socks after she specifically said not to? Sometimes it's the little things that matter the most. If something comes to mind, it's time to own up to it. Acknowledging your mistake is the first step towards making things right. Apologize sincerely and admit how your actions might have made her feel. A heartfelt apology can go a long way in mending a broken bridge. Don't try to make excuses or say her feelings aren't a big deal. Validating her emotions shows that you respect and understand her. Remember, it's not about being right or wrong, it's about taking responsibility. Owning up to your actions can strengthen your relationship. Now, I'm not saying you should beg or feel terrible forever. Guilt isn't the goal here. A simple, honest apology can make a big difference. It shows that you care enough to make amends, but you have to be sincere and show that you get why she's upset. Empathy is key in these situations. Here's the thing, even if you can't think of a specific reason for her silence, it's still good to think about how you've been acting. Self-reflection is crucial. Sometimes we don't realize how our actions affect others. Our behavior might be sending unintended messages. So really think about your interactions. Replay them in your mind and try to see things from her perspective. Have you been distant or busy lately? Sometimes, being preoccupied with work or other commitments can make your partner feel neglected. Have you been making an effort to spend quality time together? Relationships thrive on shared experiences and meaningful connections. Relationships need effort and attention. They require nurturing and care to grow and flourish. If you've been neglecting her needs or taking her for granted, it's time to do better. Show her that she's a priority in your life. Show her that you care, that you're invested in the relationship, and that you're willing to work through this. Actions speak louder than words, so make sure your actions reflect your commitment. Okay, let's talk about the big scary thing in relationships. Sometimes people grow apart. It's a reality that many of us fear but rarely discuss openly. The idea that two people who once shared everything can start to drift in different directions is unsettling. It's hard to accept, but it happens. Life has a way of changing us, sometimes in ways we never expected. We evolve, our priorities shift, and what once brought us together may no longer hold the same significance. Think about that friend you had in elementary school who you thought you'd be friends with forever. You shared secrets, dreams, and countless memories. But as time went on, you both changed. You probably haven't talked to them in years. It's not because of a falling out, but simply because your lives took different paths. This is a natural part of growing up. People change, their interests change, and sometimes those paths go in different directions. It's a part of life's journey. And it doesn't mean that the time you spent together was any less valuable. It's no one's fault, it's just life. Time moves on and so do we. The key is to recognize these changes and address them before they create a rift that's too wide to bridge. This doesn't mean every relationship is going to fail. Many couples navigate these changes successfully by staying connected and communicating openly. But it does mean both people need to work at growing together, not just next to each other. It's about finding common ground and shared goals that keep you aligned. So, how do you know if you're drifting apart? Communication gets tough. You might find that conversations that once flowed easily now feel strained or forced. You might argue more, or maybe you've just stopped talking. Silence can be just as telling as shouting matches. It's a sign that something deeper needs to be addressed. You might feel like you're living separate lives. The connection that once felt so strong now feels like it's slipping away, and you're not sure how to get it back. If this sounds familiar, it's time for a serious talk with her. Don't wait until the distance becomes too great to bridge. Address it now while there's still a chance to reconnect. I'm not talking about a quick, "How was your day?" at dinner. I mean a deep, meaningful conversation where you both lay your cards on the table. I'm talking about a real, honest conversation about your feelings, your needs, and what you want for the future. It's about being vulnerable and open, even if it's uncomfortable. This talk won't be easy. It might bring up emotions you've been avoiding, but it's necessary for growth. It might be awkward, even painful, but it's important. Facing these issues head-on is the only way to move forward, whether that means growing together or apart. Ignoring the problem won't make it disappear. It'll just fester and grow, creating more distance and resentment. It'll just get worse until it blows up. Unresolved issues have a way of coming back stronger and more destructive. So find a time and place where you can both talk openly and honestly. Choose a setting where you feel safe and free from distractions. Listen to each other without interrupting or getting defensive. It's about understanding, not just responding. And most importantly, respect each other's feelings, even if you don't agree. Mutual respect is the foundation of any strong relationship. Listen closely, this is super important. When she's ignoring you, the worst thing you can do is smother her with attention. I'm talking about blowing up her phone, calling non-stop, showing up at her work, basically acting like a lost puppy. Here's the thing. When someone needs space, they need space. It's not a personal attack, and it doesn't mean she's leaving you. It just means she needs time to sort out her feelings and figure out what she needs. Imagine you're trying to solve a hard math problem, and someone keeps looking over your shoulder, giving you advice you didn't ask for, and tapping their foot. Would that help you focus? Exactly. It would drive you crazy. So instead of bombarding her with messages, give her room to breathe. Let her know you're there for her when she's ready, but don't pressure her. I know this is hard. You're worried, you're confused, and you want to fix things. But trust me, giving her space is the best way to show you respect her feelings. Relationships are built on trust and respect. By giving her space, you're showing that you trust her to come to you when she's ready. Okay, so she's ignoring you, and you haven't done anything crazy like show up with a boombox and a bunch of flowers. Now what? Instead of sitting around stressing, why not use this time to focus on yourself? When was the last time you did something just for you? Not for work, not for a relationship, just for fun. This is your chance to reconnect with yourself, try new things, and rediscover old hobbies. Go to the gym, pick up that guitar you haven't played in ages, finally start writing that book. The possibilities are endless. This will not only take your mind off things, but it'll also make you a more interesting person. And who knows, maybe this new confidence will even make things better in your relationship. But here's the important thing, don't do it for her, do it for yourself. The goal isn't to make her jealous or to show her how much better off you are without her. It's about being happy, no matter what's happening in your relationship. Remember, you deserve to be happy, with or without her. So use this time to become the best version of yourself. And who knows, maybe she'll realize what she's missing. But even if she doesn't, you'll be in a much better place to handle it. Relationships can be messy and complicated. There's no easy fix. But remember, talking and respecting each other are super important. If you feel ignored, don't keep it to yourself. Talk to her, listen to her, and try to see things from her point of view. And if she's not willing to do the same, well then you need to ask yourself if this is the relationship you really want. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who values you, respects your feelings, and is willing to work things out with you. Thanks for watching, and we hope this helps you through this tough situation. Remember, you're not alone. We've all been there, and we've made it through.